Hey guys, it's Carol and thank you for stopping by for my stitching update. It's been 2 weeks since I last filmed and I have been surprisingly productive. I feel like I've talked the last few videos about how I'm not getting as much stitching done as I want to, and I'm really getting much better at it. If I do only a little bit a day, okay, whatever, at least every day I have been picking up projects. There's days I've picked up 2 projects. I mean, I don't know. I'm just really pleased with what I've done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. First up is going to be Modern Folk Embroideries, The Fruit of Plenty. This is my daily stitch right now. I know I said I don't do daily stitches, and for the moment it's kind of turned into a daily stitch, I mean, to the best of my ability. So here's where it was last time. And this is today. Seriously, I haven't really been using this as a daily stitch. Like if I were doing 30 minutes a day, this would just be flying right along, but check out all of that. I am really happy. Like this stitching is going faster than the equivalent sections up here. I don't know why, it just happens to be. It looks so good. I am thrilled to bits with how this is coming along. So my plan for this one is to just kind of spend 30 minutes a day on the days that it makes sense, like first thing in the morning. And when it happens, it's great. If it doesn't happen, that's okay too. But like I said, this is really coming right along and I am just thrilled to pieces. The stocking project is continuing. I think I'm on track. It's just past the middle of September. I am not done with a single stocking, and here I am being super optimistic. Anyway, first I'm gonna share it's a Dimensions kit. This is Snow Bears, and the artwork is by Steve Whitlow. Here's where it was last time. Check it out. The bottom is one, this is all now just continuous rows of white. It's about 15 stitches to the bottom. I think it's about 15, maybe 20. I mean, it's coming in really we're narrowing. So the bulk of this is done. The big thing is I need to get all the back stitching in. For this one, there's not a large amount of back stitching. It's primarily around these bears and the cardinals. The cardinals are using the colors that I just have not finished out in these scarves. They don't take long at all. I just haven't been prioritizing them because I have been doing endless amounts of snow. So every time my daughter sees this one, she's like, "Ah, polar bears!" And I think it's just so cute how excited she is about this. I mean, given that I can't believe my baby's a senior in high school. She is not allowed to be a senior in high school. I say this, but I mean, kids do this to us, right? Anyway, but this is, I'm loving how this is the most amount of stitching on any of them. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm glad I started with this one, but also that I'm really just trying to get, and I was actually hoping to get to a soft finish this week. And for me, a soft finish is gonna be all of this done and a couple rows of white up here and just not the name. So fingers crossed that that's where I'll be next time. Now, I put the majority of my time into Snow Bears, but my other stocking project, this is Dimensions Reindeer and Hedgehog, and the artist is Rachel Baines, and this is where it was last time. And this is where we're at. So all of the reindeer is done, minus 2 stitches right here, and minus the head. You'll be like, yeah, the reindeer's not dead. The reindeer has no head. Yeah, I know the reindeer has no head. But all of the tedious work here, and yes, I created fractionals. Dimensions does not chart these with fractionals. So if you're the type of person who does not do fractional stitches on Ada, have no fear. I'm doing this to myself because that's just how I roll, not because it's how it's charted. I would be much faster if I just did all the full squares like it's called for, but no, I can't be bothered. I'm gonna be a little bit too much of a perfectionist. But anyway, so this is a ribbon, but yes, and I will tell you, actually, because of those fractionals, these legs were actually kind of a pain because I was having to guess, do I want to do a 3/4 stitch here? Do I want to do a 1/4 stitch? I'm doing a 1/4 stitch the next, kind of making it all work. Look at it though. This isn't even back stitching. I think it looks fantastic. Obviously the snow is now here. From here, you go down, it's Hedgehog territory, and this part of the reindeer, actually, it's not that much by way of colors. It stitches up really fast. So I'm excited. I feel like this one is actually clicking along, and I have not put a lot of time in it. I really have been prioritizing Snow Bears. So at the expense, when I'm gonna work on a stocking, I'm working on Snow Bears, not this one, but I was just really happy to get this one to this place. Fall showed up, it's disappeared again. It got muggy and warm, but fall came here pretty hard. So I was feeling, honestly, a little motivated for some seasonal stitching. So Kustom Krafts, Autumn Chapel. And this one is actually charted by Trina Clark of Artisy. And so if you want to buy, like, this is a hard copy booklet that I got in my LNS, but you can get this exact same pattern on Artisy's website. And the artist is Mark Keatley. And I had started this a while back, then I realized I didn't leave myself a margin, so I'm in the restart, and that's when I realized I hadn't picked this one up much recently. But it was just a nice little change of pace after I had gotten tired. So tired of stitching on white. So here's where I was last time. And there you go. I don't really think there's much to say about it. I mean, okay, because if I can pull, this is where I was before. Like, I'll even flip it. That's what I had. I'm obviously still not caught up to where I was, but I am enjoying doing this more as the cross country. I don't like parking threads. I say this now and watch me like 3 full coverages from now and decide, oh, I'll try parking again. Surely it'll be different this time. I'm telling you now, I'm still gonna hate it in the future once future me decides to make that stupid decision. And I know I will. So hopefully I'll remember having sat here and said that, but probably not. Whatever. So this one I decided to go from the upper right, and I don't know that I know why I made that decision, and I think it was like inspired by seeing other people. The whole idea is if you do this, like if you're really a perfectionist about how your stitches go in, is that you're doing it in a strict diagonal. Well, when I had done the first one, I had started that strict diagonal and gave up after about like, I was probably on like diagonal number 7 and said, I cannot even. It was just no fun. And honestly, stitching's supposed to be fun. And if I have yes, I have imperfect stitches in here. There's imperfect stitches all over all my projects, and guess what? It's okay. Like, I have fun and I love the pictures that I get out of it. If I'm happy, honestly, I'm the only person that matters in the case of I'm the one who's doing the work, doing the project. So I guess what I'm saying is that how I like to stitch, this kind of works, but kind of not. I have done upper left starts are fine with me just because they kind of match how I tend to work. I mean, I read left to right, the standard. It's okay, but I feel like just how and the one thing is I will say that I've noticed when I'm dealing with confetti on any of my full coverages is I have a tendency, because I will start to the lower left and make the first X to the upper right, and then I come down, and then from the lower right go to the upper left. So I will tend to preference, if I'm looking for the next stitch, always look left before I look down. So I will always kind of meander that way. It's just how I stitch. So I thought that starting from the right would like really go with that. And I just don't know, I don't feel it. But I'm gonna continue doing this one, filling this way, just because why not? It's not hurting anything, and I'm not in anything where it's a big box of color. This really is mostly like it's a row of 2 and a row of 3, and it was working. So didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it was just really nice to pull out. Next up, I continued my theme of seasonal stitching, but in this case, the one that instead of being nice little X's everywhere, it's fractionals for days. Teresa Wentzler's Fall Carousel Horse. Here's where I was last time. And here we go. So the neck, like I'm ready almost to the head. The head's like right here. There's a little bit of decoration. I realized I had some bad stitches over here in the neck, so I had to go back and rip them out. So I was hoping to get to some more of the mane and like fill this in. I haven't, whatever. And I even thought about, should I be doing more with these greens? No. I was like, no, I'm gonna do the body of the horse. This one, the body is really much less by way of fractionals, only when it's around any of the other details, but most of this was actually pretty easy stitching, and so I was like, let's do that. So I can't say that it's a little bit of progress. I filled in right here, so this is now, all this section can be back stitched, but I'm not gonna say that this is not a priority project at all. It's just more that it seemed like a fun thing to do because, well, the leaves are starting to change. Like you can see that ghost of the yellows, and some of them, not all of them, most things are still green. The leaves won't drop here hard until November, they never do, but it is kind of cool to see, like with the cooler nights, and the humidity goes away. Did I mention the humidity came back? But anyway, so it was just the colors were really making me like feel this, and so I don't know. It's, like I said, not a priority piece, but I think I'm going to use this in Autumn Chapel as kind of just some seasonal pieces to give me something different beyond my focus pieces. Next is a piece that's not really a focus piece for right now, but we'll probably turn into a focus piece as soon as the stockings are done, because I had said at the beginning of the year that I had a goal with this one. So next up is Heaven and Earth Designs mini interior of Tintern Abbey. Here's where it was last time. And I actually picked it up and did some work on it. Last time I had shown this, it was like a very teeny tiny amount. This time I actually feel like I made some real progress. The top row here, this is the edge of page 2. So this entire 10 rows are done. I filled in another square here. So it's actually like, problem is it's working on sky. I am not a fan of working on the sky. I mean, it's fine. It looks great. I remember like being back over here and being like, are there going to be any colors where this looks like anything interesting? And it does eventually, but they're all so very similar, and they're like color-wise. This is mostly 928, 3024, 3072, 168, and 415. And the fact that I can tell you that, and I actually right now when I said those, I'm like seeing all the symbols that go with them, like I wasn't trying to memorize them, but that is pretty much all of like these. Now it gets more interesting colorwise here, so but all of this stretch is pretty much just those same colors. So I'm like, okay, I mean, it looks great, but the real reason I'm working on this is that I want to get all of page 2 done by Thanksgiving, and I'm not on track for that because I haven't been making any effort to work on this because I, added in the stocking projects and then wondering why am I not getting this stuff done that I anticipated getting done this year. New starts, that's why. I mean, I know this. It's kind of obvious. It's math. There's only so much time in a day that I have for stitching and so many projects and all of that. But anyway, I was like, okay, this one was fun. Really glad I pulled it out. You're gonna see more of it, like I said, once the stockings get themselves to that like point of like done. But yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased with it. This is really pretty. Okay, the other thing is I'm hoping like this right here, it's 310 and it looks very stark compared to everything else. I'm kind of hoping is that I fill that in, that it'll all look good together because it really stands off against the, I'm trying to remember if this was, I think ivory. I don't remember what color it is. I am doing this 2/1 on an 18 count because that's the only way I'm going to do a loop start. So yeah, but it was a very nice change of pace. Also, it occurs to me, I have shared a lot of projects on Ada this one. Like this is project number 4. This was a very heavy Ada like last 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's been fun to work on. And then my last piece is my actual goal stitching for this year. Like this was like my big book goal from the beginning of the year, and excluding those stockings. Ignore those. But Mirabilia Designs, Winter Queen. Here's where she was last time. And here she is today. Like, wow. I actually had to switch, like we realized I was gonna have to position the camera a little, like me sit a little further back for this reason, because she was actually getting big enough that my usual spot, I was like, oh, I probably should be a little less tight to the camera frame, so I am. But yeah, so this is the edge. It's already coming back over. You can see where I don't even know how to describe what, is she sitting on something that's like the same color as her, I don't know. This thing is it's ridiculously pretty, but I don't really try to think about what this fabric is doing because I'm pretty sure that if I like try to trace it around, she's in one big giant tangled mess. Whatever, I don't care. I love the textiles. I love the dresses, the whole thing just, it speaks to me. That's why I stitch on this. But yeah, so this, I'm trying to think. So this is actually, there's going to be white that continues down here, so you really get that drape of the satin from below her knee. This is continuing down. I don't know. I didn't do any more beading. I probably should have. Like, I have all my beading stuff sitting out. I haven't touched those, but I was like really, really feeling the progress on this. I am just, because I'm gonna say this, I was like, all of this right here is new. I love it. I'm just happy with this piece. Like, oh, I love the Mirabilia Queens. I love them so much. And big thing, I want to get her done this year. So, like, that's like a really big goal for me. Not because, like, she actually is not an incredible amount of stitching. Like, if I really, like, planned and didn't want to work on other projects, I'd probably knock her out in a couple weeks. Obviously, I have other projects that are higher priority because, again, I got to get the stockings done. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm really going back to these stockings, and one could say, well, way back in like May when I came up with this bright idea, or actually I think it was April when I came up with this bright idea, I said, okay, I'm going to need to use this time. I haven't used my time wisely, and here I am in crunch time. So sorry that I'm talking about stockings while I'm holding Winter Queen. Like this. But anyway, the point is, this is one that I want done because I want to get all 4 of the queens framed this year. That's like kind of my big goal. She's the last. The finish line is in sight, but I'm still really far away, and I'm worried that there's, like, you know, stuff in between here and there that'll make it a problem. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but oh, I don't know. Like, and then look over, I'm like, oh, and I love your colors. Everything about you is great. And the really nice part is when I get done with her, then I can focus on like Royal Holiday and Stargazer. So I mean, I guess that's the thing. I have other projects that I'm like, oh, I'm so ready to move on and like really put the time into. Because I love these colors, but I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done with this project. And I think that's just like as a aside for all of my Mirabilias, actually pretty much most of my stuff that's not a full coverage, I do a center start. And then with Autumn Queen, I had said, okay, I know that the skirts get boring. So I did all the skirt first and then finished with her head. And when it was time to, I was like, I can't do that again. It was too boring. Well, now I'm down in the boring bits. I mean, they do stitch up much faster actually than all of that, but I just, oh, yes. Like, oh, I was like, I love it, but on the other hand, this is when I'm just like, I'm ready to be done. I love these colors, but if I don't touch 341 again for a while, I'll be perfectly happy. If I don't have to touch white again, I'll be happy. And unfortunately, I'm at the stage where there's actually a decent amount of Whisper I gotta mess with, and I'm not loving that. It's getting better. Me and Whisper are learning to get along. It's still not my favorite. It may never be my favorite, but I really do love the effect on here. So, all that said, I actually thought I was gonna like roll in today and have plans. I don't really have plans because, I mean, my plans are stockings. Really, that's like, plans are stockings, this, and messing around with Tintern Abbey. So it's like, anything else beyond that is just kind of the, okay, I wanna work on, but, you know, that's how it goes. Anyway, with all of that, thank you so much for stopping by. I feel like this was like a really I went fast today. I'm not normally this fast when I sit down and actually film, which I mean, you guys don't see because you don't see all the stuff that gets edited out. I normally film 3 minutes for every minute that actually makes it into the final video. So, I mean, just a really random and it's because things like I sneeze, I cough, my dogs try to knock over the camera, all of those things. And so this just for today feels really good. So I just wanted to share hey, I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling really stoked. As soon as I put all my stuff away, I am picking back up Snow Bears and time to do more half stitch in white. And that looks like my weekend, but I hope that everything you have going on is going great and that you'll come back and see me next time because I hope to have a finish-ish. Anyway, take care and I'll see you. Bye.